Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about the past listing of P Network and the events that followed. Before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and to join our Telegram channels. Let's get into the details. As I guess you all know, on February 20th, which was yesterday, P Network transitioned to the mainnet process after 6 years. And on February 20th, it listed its own token. It was listed on KYB approved exchanges. You can currently check these approved exchanges on their official website. Among these are the exchanges OKX, GTO, and BitCat. Among the exchanges that we actively use, at least the ones I actively use and know about, as we scroll down, we can see OKX, BitCat, and GTO. The listings were carried out smoothly with these three. There's an application like this. I don't know if it's an exchange or something else, because I don't use it much. I won't comment on that. And after the listings, the price didn't come in as anyone expected. Actually, it did come in as we expected. You know, the price that General Pi was expecting didn't materialize. Let me put it this way. It would be more accurate because when you look at the conversations about Pi, everyone was saying at least, they were saying it would be $20 to $30 or even $70, $80. And some were exaggerating a lot, claiming it would be something like over $300. They were talking about it. Of course, it was impossible for it to be $300, but at the end of the day, it was likely to be around $30, $40, or at least $10, $20 at worst, because these are the supply and demand relationships, as you know, and it could have really captured a nice liquidity in the market. And at the end of the day, when you look at it, it didn't quite turn out that way. We will be talking about this. But before we move on to that, I want to talk a little bit about the KVB approved exchanges. Now, when you look at it, the listings on OKX, BitCat, and Gatorade, as I mentioned, were carried out smoothly. Yes, following this, there are two incidents that happened on Bybit and Binance. Let me talk about these one by one. After that, we will talk about the price or other things. Now, first of all, the CEO of Bybit claimed that P Network is a scam. When did he claim that? When was the OKX exchange? When I announced that I would list Pcoin, that is on February 12th, the Bybit CEO got all mixed up. The Bybit CEO made a brief statement saying something like, I don't want to get involved with PI, I will keep my distance. And following this, some users stood behind the Bybit CEO while others completely opposed him. And because Bybit didn't list PI, there were all sorts of things happening, etc. They mentioned, in fact, during this process, something like this happened, or rather something was said. In order for you to list PCOin, you needed to get KYB approval. And within this news circulated that Bybit applied, but the PCOin team rejected the listing. After that, the Bybit CEO made a statement regarding this. As you can see on February 20th, that is on the listing day, he made another statement. And Bybit stated that they did not make any KYB application or any listing request for Pi. As I mentioned, there are currently two news items circulating. The first is that, as the Bybit CEO said, they did not make any application for listing or account in any way. The second claim is that they applied, but the Pi team did not approve it, and that's why the Bybit CEO called Pi a scam. There are two such claims. Which one is true? Which one is real? With this, which one is real? With this, it's not my job to make relevant comments. You can interpret this among yourselves. But there is an incident like this. So Bybit hasn't listed PI as of now when you look at it. At the end of the day, and the CEO of Bybit mentions that the reason for not listing is that PI is not a secure project, that it's a problematic project. And he says it's not reliable. In 2023, he shares a document from Chinese state sources related to a few complaints and incidents that occurred in China. When you access this document, I won't open it right now, but you can go directly to the CEO of Bybit's Twitter and access it. When you look at this document, it mentions 3 different incidents that occurred within that year. Here it is. The PI application has been installed on her mother's phone. Investments were made there. And because identity information was entered there, that it's claimed that incidents like her retirement pension being stolen have occurred. Well, this is ultimately an allegation from the Chinese police. How much is true, how much is false? I still don't know. After all, I'm not a detective. I'm just telling you the events. Following this, Bybit says the CEO of Bybit states that if this project is safe and honest, it should clarify these issues. After that, instead of clarifying this, he says something like, you are giving childish answers. Following this, he says that his opinion has not changed and that he thinks it is a pure fraudulent project and that Bybit will not list fraudulent projects. Now, in general, this is actually the case with Bybit. And at the end of the day, when you look at it, Bybit did not list P. Is it because P's team no longer approves? Or is he really the CEO of Bybit? They don't want to list P? I don't know about that. But there's something like this. When you look at the last sentence, there is a phrase like Bybit scam will not be listed. There was a lot of mockery made of this. I think when it goes down a bit, you'll understand why it was mocked. I'm going down a bit. For example, as you can see, block and money projects are Bybit. It's not just Bybit. Many exchanges have them listed. And as you can see, you're looking at the price charts, the listing. In addition, other projects are mentioned in the same way. And it's like, why are you listing these projects, but not this one? They're talking about things like that. You know, at the end of the day, when you look at this, by the way, about that incident, the comments regarding Bybit not listing frauds can be accepted, not just for Bybit, but for every exchange, in my opinion. Because most exchanges, and I emphasize most, are doing this without naming any specific ones.
So, what do we say?
They can list some projects to catch the hype coming from there. When you look at it, logically what they do is right from their perspective too. In the end, they're trying to attract liquidity to themselves. They're trying to attract some volume to themselves. And at the end of the day, they're trying to have a larger user base. But while doing this, if they don't list solid projects that they've researched, unfortunately, people can get scammed in the end. Following this process, here's what happened. An ironic event happened. I think I have to mention that as well. Unfortunately, Bybit was hacked. This is definitely not a good thing. It's not a good thing for anyone. So here's what happened. Let me explain the situation. They say that Bybit's all or other hot wallets and others are safe. And one of Bybit's Ethereum cold wallets has fallen into the hands of hackers as a result of a transaction. And how much total assets? I honestly don't remember, but let's just say it was a pretty hefty amount. It was stolen, and in a statement made by Bybit's CEO after the theft, he was saying something. That wasn't it, I'm very sorry. Well, it's not important. This theft isn't important. Your wallets, I think I'm saying it here. He's saying that your wallets, your money are safe. After this incident, some people said, this is the world of manipulation and finding things, PSKM. At the end of the day, things started to turn around like they were added. But of course, I don't think there is much connection between this and the hacking of Pi. It just happened to coincide, let's put it that way. Right now, those guys are probably live streaming and they're likely making a statement about this. You see, he says that he has already made a statement about this theft incident. He's talking about how, as I mentioned, users' information and data are safe, and that their money is safe, and so on. Bybit is a big exchange, easy as that. They don't suffer losses from those kinds of hacks. Now, if we look at the Binance situation, in my opinion, they did the smartest thing during this process. What did he do? He said that since P Network has a big commitment, then I'm opening a poll. You all should participate in this poll. Let's see how big that commitment is. I think they tried to do that, but of course that's not what was said. Do you want us to list P Network? They created a poll under that name. I'll click on yes or something like that from Binance's Square team. Random. When you look at it, 85% of the responses were yes, and they had already taken this into account back in the day on Snapchat. There's something like this. Where are we? As you can see here, nearly 200,000 users have voted here. Yani, Hani, Pi Network's number of users, user base. It was said to be 60 million, and I found it a little strange that only 200,000 votes came here. But not everyone might have a Binance account, or they might have missed the voting. I'll leave that topic to your interpretation. But at the end of the day, it will be listed on Binance based on the voting at the moment. But as I said, they haven't specified any date or said anything like, we will definitely list it. The polling part will continue until February 27th. The poll sheet is already over. After they do it, they'll probably make an announcement. So I guess they will most likely list it. It doesn't go beyond a guess. But I say again, if it were up to me, Binance made the smartest move. Why? Because they started a survey that will last about a week. And during this week, it will see the progress of P. They will decide whether to list it or not after seeing the progress of the coin, how the P Network team behaves, and all of that. At least that's my personal opinion. I've already looked at it for now. When you look at it, we can say there's nothing else besides that with Binance and Bybit, meaning the exchanges part. Now, if we need to talk about the price of P when we open the 7-day chart, as you can see, we are directly seeing a downward trend here. Here, in my opinion, no one opened at the price they were expecting. I think it didn't meet anyone's expectations. A few videos ago, I said something. I expect P Network to open at $1 to $2. After that, who knows what will happen? Only God knows. I had said it seems like the market will determine the direction. And in the comments of that video, some friends tried to lynch me. No, it's going to be $300. No, it's going to be this much, that much, and so on. But in the end, what we said happened. It opened at $1 to $2 at the OKX exchange. It opened at 1.8 and rose to the $2, reaching 2.4. I guess it's not written here. It went up to 2.1, sorry. It rose to $2.1, and then it will continue to move within the current price range you see now. We can say it has come to this situation. It was already obvious to me that it would be like this. You know, it's completely ironic for users to expect it to be $300. Well, I could have said that personally. I thought it could be $1, $2. But then, with the volume, it will take, a little bit. And depending on how much P Network stands behind it, I was of the opinion that Honey could see prices of $20, $30 and even higher in the long run. But we are quite far from those $20, $30 levels right now, and there's also a reality to consider. When you look at the data here, my mind just stops personally, because with simple math here, everyone knows that this price should never be written, Everyone who has been trading in crypto for a while realizes that this number shouldn't be written here when they see the figures. But I don't know why an event like this happened in the price. I personally did not expect this decline. Let me say that from the start. I was thinking that there would be declines and sudden injections to explode those who opened long positions. But I didn't expect the price to get stuck around here after such a drop. I think, if you ask me, this situation has been bad for the P Network community. Because, those who sold from here and bought from there ended up making a profit, etc. I'm skipping these because these are, small traders. Yes, events that can make people happy and have an impact. But if you ask me, the real problem is this. Most of the P Network coins have been transferred into the hands of whales. Everyone who sold at $1, $2, or from these levels has ended up with their coins in the hands of whales. Whales have gathered them. At the end of the day, I can say that it's quite likely they will manipulate things here. I'll be looking forward to your comments about the price and this topic in the comments section of the video. By the way, let me show you this. There are a lot of people asking about the total supply issue. For example, it actually says here the correct figures. But let's show it from here. When you look at it, FineTwerk's total supply of its own Explorer is already 100 billion. We already knew this on top of that. A total of 9.7 billion has been minted. So, it's circulating in the market. But the circulating part of this supply corresponds to 6.3 million. So the circulating part, which is 6.3 out of millions, 4.7 million are currently locked up. So, about 1.5 to 1.6 million of it has been released into circulation. And a large part of this is still sitting in P Network's own wallets. There was a lot of inflow into the exchanges in the early stages. Then some people started sending their wallets back, and so on. Things like this have happened. Right now, it's important for us to keep track of P Network's own announcements during this process. So what will happen next with P Network? If we need to talk a bit about this, it's actually important to see how much P Network and its team will support the project, and future news is significant. So let's say if they decide to list on Binance a week from now, there will be a nice hype around it. In addition to this, if the Pi team can also make a few nice announcements along with this, they could maintain that hype and push the price up. But until such nice news comes in, I believe the price could reach a maximum of $1 at these levels, then drop back down and then rise again before falling once more. We'll definitely see this together in the coming days. Personally, I haven't gained much from Pi. Even though I've been farming for 6 years, is due to the poor implementation of the verification system. I don't know if it's been a year or maybe even longer. I'm trying to verify my identity, but who knows? It's in God's hands. It still hasn't been verified. I had also stopped trying. I've really given up now. No matter how much comes from pi, I won't be talking about pi anymore, but I wanted to make a video to share this kind of information with you. Let's say I hope it has been helpful, and let's slowly wrap up our video. There has been a lot of discussion about the PI network. It's a project that is being discussed. I'm sure there will be a lot of discussion in the comments section of the video. I will try to intervene in the discussions as much as I can. I will never interfere with civilized discussions, of course, but if insults start flying around, I apologize in advance. I will have to intervene, because swearing is not a good thing. So I can say that's it for today's video. If you have anything on your mind that you want to ask, you can reach out to me through the comments or that Telegram chat channel. Good day to all of you. I hope to witness it from Bolka.